It took me a while to start thinking, how do I best help my manager? But when I did, it turned around very positively for me. Yet still, most people go about the career ladder as if it is perfectly random and equal for everyone, when it's not. The career ladder goes from first junior entry-level job and all the way up to being the CEO. Through your career, you will celebrate ups and go through disappointments. It will define your budgets for housing and travels, and it can define your social standing. Your career is defining your life, so it is important to succeed in this transforming staircase. A small misstep in the ladder can hold you back from promotions. It hurts your ego and your wallet if you don't succeed professionally. If you know the secrets of the career ladder, it is actually quite predictable and a game with a high reward personally and financially if you play it by the rules. In this video, I will share the secrets to a successful career, how to win promotions, and how to prepare for what lies ahead of you further up the career ladder. And watch all the way to the end for a bonus tip that has helped me in more ways than you can imagine. Now, there are lots of videos about the career ladder written by young people, and they share their stories. But this story is built on a long and rich career. I have had engineering roles in large companies, I worked strategies from some of the world's biggest companies, and I have been a tech CEO and a CTO. I have been approached by a tech company who wanted to expand to my home country and asked me to run it. And in this video, I will share with you the real secrets that come from a rich life with plenty of fun opportunities and challenges all over the world. Check my LinkedIn if you want some inspiration. This video tells you the real secret. So stay with me to the end to start building a better career tomorrow. First, what is the career ladder? Let's take a look at this life-shaping creature named after a most insecure vertical transportation device. The career ladder is an idea of how you bounce from one job to the other, building experience and value on your way. You can have an early dream of what you want to achieve, or you can make up the journey as you go. The career ladder is only a ladder in the final steps. More on that later in the video, but most likely you will be spending your career in a set of stairs that everyone wants to go up. They are typically wider at the bottom and narrow at the top. Your first encounter with the career ladder is not at all a ladder or a stair, but more like a beautiful bridge over a small Scottish stream. It's cute and fun with a steep incline on both sides, but after you have passed it, you end up at the same elevation as you started on. Early promotions are more like a title change, removing a junior or adding a senior to your title. These early promotions are measurable in months or years since you started, but they might not have that much impact on your career. If you are a parent yourself or you have been around fresh parents, you know how important it seems if the baby starts walking at 8 or 18 months. Parents stress and fret over this or they are bragging by the playground. Yet this has no correlation on later quality of life in any way. So let's not dwell more over the Scottish stone bridges. They have been fine for hundreds of years without our concern. What you probably want to know more about is the staircase part of the career ladder, where you will spend a lot of your work hours. The early management stairs appear to be wide and wonderful at the bottom. They greet you with the promises of a cartoon where you go from being a poor farmer to living a life in ballrooms. However, you can't quite see what is awaiting on the top floor, but it seems like the stairs are narrowing towards the top. Because there is competition for the promotions. Not everyone are given the trust, training and responsibility. Early management roles sports financial benefits, opportunities to be exposed to higher ranking management positions, and entry-level management responsibilities. These promotions are for management roles where you get responsibility for a group of people or for sub-projects. And when you are young or inexperienced in management, this might seem like a daunting task, but you will likely receive training and follow up in your new role, which makes the transition easy, and the training is a benefit by itself. But already before you reach the first promotion, you need to understand the game and the rules of the company. And now I want to share a personal tip that is very important for you in your early career, but also applies for the big roles that you will take on later in your career. The secret throughout all your career is to do what you can to make your manager's day easier and successful. Think of it this way. If your manager is successful, she will get promotions and get more impact. And if you are a contributing factor, not only will she promote you where you are today, but she will also help you later. The positive relationships you are building will make it natural for her to support you. Sometimes looking at the opposite is a good way to teach a principle. Imagine this scenario. You struggle with bonding with colleagues and you need help getting your daily tasks done. This causes frustration for you. You're not smiling and being friendly at work. For your manager, this is very stressful, as she has to use her time to support you and solve problems. But instead of carrying your frustrations to work and forward them to your manager, use your time thinking, how can I create success for my manager? Try this and you will find that instead of following your ego or personal little fights, you get an inner drive to contribute to more valuable causes. I have first-hand experience on this. It took me a while to start thinking, how do I best help my manager? But when I did, it turned around very positively for me. Instead of getting frustrated in tasks more relevant to me than to my manager, I picked up a more constructive mindset, and soon I had left my own frustrations behind, and I wondered, what on earth was I thinking back there? Another good strategy is to attend corporate events and industry events. These events might seem strange in the beginning as you don't understand the lingo or the topics, but there is no way you can survive in an industry without learning about it. So you might as well get started. You will learn strategies and plans, get experience in organizing, and events will introduce you to more people who will likely be stakeholders in your career. And you need to build a positive relationship with those people you meet. And how to build a positive relationship with anyone might seem impossible if you don't know the secret. So let me share with you my favorite positive relationship builder that is fun, truthful, and has an almost guaranteed positive outcome. So a good way to build rapport and positive relationships with people is to have a few good questions prepared. So before you attend a conference or a meeting, write down or memorize some questions you would like to know the answer to. You see, few people care too much about you. Or anyone else, for that sake. But we are always happy to talk about ourselves, especially what we have worked on to achieve or what has motivated us in our current role or in the situation we are in. And think about it, you are always left with a good feeling when someone is genuinely interested in your history. And asking good questions is a forgotten skill in our society. Ask questions and you will benefit both from learning their experiences, and that good feeling you created converts to a positive impression of yourself. Ask follow-up questions to learn more. Ask about their background and the steps they took leading up to where they are now. Now, after a few questions, they might return the favor and ask about your story as well. But regardless, they now know your face. when you show up in a meeting, in a discussion, or a list of potential candidates for a promotion. Let me share a couple of examples of questions that I have used many times. They are: what do you think is important when you have a role like yours? And what are you working on that excites you? What did you do to learn the skills that you are using today? So, by doing what you can to create success for your manager and attending events, you are now earning and mastering the lower management roles with project and people responsibility. Your network is growing and you know what is moving in the industry. And you wonder, what is above me in the career ladder? Well, back to school, boys and girls. Today we are discussing business management topics that are crucial to understand management at higher levels of the organization. I'll give you a very brief intro to things you typically learn more about in an MBA curriculum, but maybe with a twist that they never teach you in school. The questions we will discuss to better understand your entry to the upper stairs of the career ladder is: what is a company? A way to look at a company is that they are a legal entity that is created to secure investments. A person is a legal entity. You and I, we're legal entities. We have a personal number. We're registered in a country as citizens. And we can be charged taxes, and we can be prosecuted according to laws of our country. So is a company. Like an abstract person that can hold many persons and has to follow a lot of rules made especially for companies. Few people would invest their savings in one person, but a replication of a person with tons of rules and transparency and compliance, that can be populated by lots of people. Seems just a lot safer to invest in, since companies typically handle much larger cash flows than individuals do. They are designed for transparency, compliance, and optimizing the value of investors' money. And we talked about understanding how you can make the day best for your manager. The upper management are doing their best to create success for the investors. Investors want to know that the company that they place their savings in is profitable and robust. Multiple layers of management seems robust, as there will be no abrupt production fallout or lack of skills in this big company. We just learned that companies are legal entities that are accepted everywhere in the world. They shield top management and employees from personal responsibility, but also come with many requirements that are influenced by governments and global events. Companies get loans and revenues that belong to the company, so the management doesn't have to take up private loans. That would have made management transitions very complicated. Not all companies get loans, by the way. Startup entrepreneurs often have to carry personal financial risks to build their dream companies, and they often have to handle complex laws and rules as an individual as well as a CEO in a startup. But that is the topic for another video. Let me know in the comments if you are interested in learning more about startup life. Also, if you're still here, and I think you are, aren't you? That means you like the way I share and make videos. So please leave me a like and subscribe so you get notified when my next video is out. Okay, back to speeding up your career. My goal is that you already tomorrow can apply what you learn in this video. We need to learn about upper management to understand the complex and confusing role of middle management. Upper management ensures compliance to laws and regulations, sets and just sets and adjusts the corporate strategy to keep a position in the market, hedge risks and changes, handle budgeting and reporting, loans and dividends, and run efficient operations. They gather intel from the customer market, monitor their competitors, lobby, and follow political agendas. All to create strategies for the company. But you are not at the top of the ladder yet. You know, we left off after your first management role. In your hands is a relatively stable ladder up against a sturdy wall. Not as inviting as your first promotion, but you understand that more learning, more responsibility are available at the next floor. And you hear strategies and requirements coming from way up above. Your next level is middle management. Middle management are the leaders who have manager above them and below them. They typically lead a small team of leaders. They report up and receive strategies in return. Strategies they implement to improve product lines, performance, compliance, or staffing. The role of the middle management is confusing. The role of the middle management is challenging. Because, as we just talked about, the company structure is built for robustness, and the middle management is responsible for keeping the wheels turning. Yet, the middle management role is also to implement necessary changes. That is not a win-win situation. And if you are coming in as an optimistic change maker, or if you're coming in as a conservative gatekeeper, you're going to meet yourself at the door regardless. They are in charge of keeping steady production, which in practice means attending and hosting lots of meetings and writing reports. They oversee hiring campaigns, and they have to make painful downsizing decisions when there are dark clouds or changes in the market. The middle management also has to step up in case of emergencies, solving crises that arise, and more frequently practice solving them. Middle management can be heavy on routine tasks, unpredictable crises spiced up by conflicts between keeping status quo and implementing changes. And there is one skill I want to share with you that you should be good at this stage. This skill prepares you for the middle management roles and will increase your possibility of climbing all the way to the top. Should you wish to, that is. This one skill has helped me over and over again. I have used it as an engineer and as the CEO. The skill is a real game changer for your career and your personal well-being. And when you start seeing the world through its glasses, it unlocks bonding family dinner table discussions, great teamwork and inspiring leadership at a level that none of your colleagues will ever reach. It helps you understand your role, it helps you motivate others for quality deliverables, and it guides you away from situations where you otherwise would lose progress in your career. This skill is negotiation. Negotiation skills can be achieved through theoretical and practical training, and you can use it in all aspects of life. Negotiations can make you able to understand, listen, and move people by creating win-win situations. A good negotiator motivates, builds a common cause, and avoids unnecessary conflicts. In fact, you can use it so often that when you learn new negotiation skills, you instantly put them to play in your daily life. Christian Kwame is the best teacher of negotiations in the world, hands down. I'll leave you a link below to his podcast. It's fun and rewarding and has changed how I view conflicts, frustrations, and leadership. Understanding more about negotiations also helps me with understanding and managing my own feelings. By understanding my own needs and wants, I can be more realistic in what I can achieve and how I can help others achieve their needs and goals. So, remember to come back and thank me when you fall in love with the skill of negotiation. Or just let me know your best negotiation story in the comments. I might make a video or two about negotiations. Let me know if you're interested in the comments. And please subscribe to my channel. Psst, remember to stay to the end for my bonus advice that I learned from a brilliant manager I had early in my career. It helped him, me, and the many people I have employed in ways that are hard to imagine without experiencing this yourself. Back to negotiations. Negotiations take you to the top of the career ladder, and that is where we are heading now in this story about your more promising future, which starts tomorrow. At the higher levels of management, you are responsible for the company's KPIs and profits, key performance indicators. Vice presidents and officers have responsibilities for these metrics that are found in the annual or quarterly reporting, distributed to shareholders, governments, and to the public. Top leaders have the power to influence these indicators in their jobs. These top management roles can be quite a challenge, especially since these roles typically involve working with stakeholders and contractors outside your company, and their KPIs might be worth just as much money to their company as your KPIs are worth for your company. So you truly need to be strategic in your internal and external negotiations. Contracts are the written language of negotiations, and don't shy away from reading contracts. Lawyers like to write lawyer jargon to get paid both for writing and then later explaining the content. But it's also possible to learn contract lingo just by reading and writing them yourself. Early in your career, you notice that managers often seek quiet lunchtimes if they don't feel like one of the team. The higher up in the ladder you get, the competition from your peers becomes harder, as well as the responsibility on your shoulders. Earlier in the career, you are following other people's plans and strategies, but later in the career, you are responsible for both the budget and the outcome. And this is where the career ladder becomes a true ladder, or a mountainous climb maybe, where you have to take a leap. You might not feel you have anyone to share your worries with, and the psychological pressure can be overwhelming. A misstep here, and you can be held responsible for losses or costly turnarounds. Or on the bright side, you get to use all your skills to really make an impact. Do you still want to reach the top of the ladder? Well, what does it take? You will use everything we talked about so far, and your achievements from earlier in your career will open doors for you. For these jobs, you are chosen based on your personal skills, your network, your negotiation skills, or an investor can place you there as a risk mitigation. There are also jobs that are specifically for top management, like lawyers, communication, and corporate finance. I don't think there's much time in this video to talk more about the absolute top jobs in great detail. You can read about them in the finance news or watch CEO interviews here on YouTube. But what I will say is that they carry a lot of responsibility that can be hard to grasp in the beginning of your career. But if you attend corporate events or industry events and you show interest in the people you meet, as we talked about, you will get to know them and learn how they got to the responsibility that they now carry. Okay, we have climbed the entire ladder now, and we have discussed what is at stake at each level and how to prepare, be promoted, and succeed in your role. There is one more aspect that I would like to share with you. A general advice for sanity on the career ladder is to be friendly with everyone at work and have your friends outside of work. Build a solid social life outside of work through hobbies and interests or neighborhoods. Or if you have good friends that you share hobbies or interests with, they can help you balance your emotions and help you with strategies, and you can be more at ease with them. Share with them your success and failures, and they will return to you with their best strategies and their market insights. This wraps up this video about how to manage your career ladder, and I hope you have learned something that you can start utilizing already tomorrow. If you do, please leave a like and remember to subscribe to see more videos like this. Also, leave a comment on how I can improve my videos or if there are topics you would like me to talk about. But I promised you a bonus tip as a reward for staying all the way to the end. And this bonus tip has given me so many positive encounters at work, and is also a secret to both being seen as a positive influencer and gives you insights about how your peers are doing. So listen up and bag your ego. The cleaners and canteen workers are there every day and see what is going on from a different perspective. They notice changes, and if you have a friendly relationship, they will let you know if anyone needs help or if they're out of line. Treat them as your other colleagues and figure out how you can help them make their day better. Hold the door, lift a trolley over the threshold, walk a couple of extra steps to say good morning to them as well. Say thank you for the food. Remember that point about leaving your ego and do what you can to help your manager? An inflated ego will often hinder you from helping the cleaners with their trolley over a threshold or saying hi to them the same way you would greet the CEO if you met her. And their stories are different than what you will hear from your other colleagues. I promise you benefits you haven't thought of when you start treating them with respect. So the bonus tip is always be friendly to cleaners and other service personnel.